Prate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaitottam Devim Saraswatim Vyacham Tato Jayam Diriye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Prabhupada Lilamrita by Satsrup Das Goswami. Prabhupada is in Vrindavan and Swarup Damodar Prabhu, Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj later, who was a scientist, he has come to see Prabhupada. And Prabhupada loved to talk to him about the philosophy and the science, how it can all go together. Swarup Damodar was getting hope from his conversations with scientists. He told Prabhupada, I think they're interested in the program we are making. Otherwise, they won't take time to discuss. Some of them feel our approach is unique. There is no other such proposal, said Srila Prabhupada. They have taken God as something mystical, especially this rascal, Darwin's theory, rascal. They have become like animals, and they're seeing everyone as animals. This rascal has convinced them. Your grandfather was a monkey. How could they become the son of a monkey? But this is going on. A grand rascal, this Darwin, and his theory is taken as the greatest principle of anthropology in the whole world. So scientists by combined meeting should speak out against this Darwin's theory. But still this has been taught in the schools, Darwin's theory, that's it. Like, like this is the absolute truth. And it's all foolishness actually. On the day of Swarup Damodar's arrival in Vrindavan, the first rains also arrived, indicating the end of summer and the start of the monsoons. Heavy rains beat down while Prabhupada and Swarup Damodar continued talking. Prabhupada said that the Vedic evolutionary theory had been presented in the Padma Puran thousands of years before Darwin. If we can get some big scientists on our side, said Swarup Damodar, at least a few, that will be enough. That I'm asking, said Prabhupada. Tamal Krishna figured that Srila Prabhupada would be tired after 2 hours of talking, so he interrupted. Would you like a kirtan party now, Srila Prabhupada? So 2 hours of talking when Prabhupada didn't have energy for anything else. But when it came to preaching, especially to scientists, Prabhupada just kept going with Swarup Damodar Prabhu. But Prabhupada corrected him. So Tamal Krish Maharaj asked, would you like a kirtan party, Srila Prabhupada? But Prabhupada corrected him. This is kirtan now going on. People have to understand what is kirtan. Any topic on Krishna, that is kirtan. Shukdev Goswami became perfect by kirtan. But what kind of kirtan did he do? He was speaking the Bhagavatam, answered Tamal Krishna. Yes, said Prabhupada. You're simply thinking drums and kartals is kirtan. But anything we do here is kirtan. There is no material connection here. We are not talking how to increase our business and enjoy women and wine. That is not our aim. Ka uttam shlok gunanyavadat. We are trying to establish Krishna. That is kirtan. Shravanam kirtanam Vishnu. Do you know this? Taking this remark as his cue, Swarup Damodar went on to speak about scientists he had met who were interested in the proposed Origin of Life conference. I am thinking of the title of our conference, he said, as Bhaktivedanta Vigyan Conference in Vrindavan. No, said Prabhupada. They will take it otherwise, thinking that Bhaktivedanta is not a jnani. They'll take it lightly because Bhaktivedanta Swami is not a scientist. One of the devotees said that Bhaktivedanta actually indicated the highest science, and Srila Prabhupada agreed. But to understand bhakti, he said, was very difficult for the ordinary man. Why not? Life comes from life, asked Prabhupada, and Swarup Damodar immediately agreed. Make something extraordinary, said Prabhupada. We are not just some magicians like the other yogis. There is money, intelligence, and I can give you inspiration. There's so much interest he had in preaching to the scientists. Because scientist means a learned class, and then general people will follow. Srila Prabhupada's comments about often implied that his bodily condition was of no importance, either to himself or to his followers. And this was, in fact, an important instruction regarding the Guru's body, Vapu, and his instructions, Vani. The spiritual master would not always be physically present, but in the form of his instructions, he was eternally available for the sincere disciple. And that association was as real and personal as physical association. In fact, the ecstasy of service and separation was greater. The Shastras state that the body of the pure devotee is spiritual, but that his physical presence in the material world is temporary. As Srila Prabhupada had said of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, his passing away meant he had gone to serve Krishna in another place. Srila Prabhupada had instructed his disciples regarding the body of the spiritual master in his book, The Nectar of Instruction. So, giving very, very important instruction because generally we calculate or understand our closeness to our Guru or to Prabhupada through his body, Vapu. But he said that Vani, instructions are more important. Body will not always be present. But Prabhupada lives through his instructions, through his books, and he has given us everything in his books. And another thing, the ecstasy of service in separation was greater. In separation, when we are not just we, every disciple is always thinking of Prabhupada and in that mood serving him. Yes, if I do this, Prabhupada will be pleased. That ecstasy is much better because not everybody will be in physical association of Prabhupada. It's not practical, not possible. And as Prabhupada had said of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, his passing away meant he had gone to serve Krishna in another place. So that should be the mood when we hear of Prabhupada passing away. Not, I mean, it will happen very soon in the book also. Means he has gone to serve Krishna in another place. We don't know which place. Golok Vrindavan, or Krishna has sent him to another universe to preach. We don't know. But definitely he's serving. So in this body he served, and for devotee it doesn't matter which body, where, he's just gonna serve Krishna. So with that mood, if we do our services, and also maybe later in this book only this will come, or some other place, uh, Prabhupada did say there is another ISKCON in Golok Vrindavan. We'll all serve together. Means this, like every morning when we sing about in Guru Puja or Guru Ashtakam, Chakshudan Diloje Janme Janme Prabhu se Divya Gyan Hirday Prakashito. He is my Lord, means the spiritual master Prabhupada. He is my Lord, birth after birth. And once the connection is established, then that is eternal connection. So whenever we go back to the spiritual world, we serve under Prabhupada. We serve Krishna under the instructions of Prabhupada, whatever form he would be in, or whatever form we would be in. So we'll serve under him. But that also to understand the body of Prabhupada, although the way it is shown, it is written, and if you see the videos, he was very, very thin. He had lost all his fat. He was not fat to begin with, but whatever fat he had lost everything because he was hardly eating. But the body of Prabhupada should always be considered spiritual, no matter what physically might look like. So serving such a spiritual master definitely was a tremendous opportunity for disciples. And physical body and also through his instructions, if we serve him. Like these days is a book marathon. If we can distribute some books, that will definitely please him. Being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a devotee should not be seen from a materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee as having a body born in a low family, a body with bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased or infirm body. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee as having a body born in a low family, because ultimately we are not this body. We are spirit souls. Okay, because of our previous karmas, we got body, low family, bad complexion. Generally, we assign, okay, if it is a uh, whitish complexion or fair complexion, then it's good body. Darkish complexion is not good body. But that's our thinking, not scriptural understanding. A deformed body or a diseased or infirm body. So we should not be looking at devotees from that aspect. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee. But despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the water of the Ganges, which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foam, and mud. The Ganges water do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in the Ganges without considering the condition of the water. So this example is also given in Nectar of Instruction. The body of the water of Ganges is never impure. Outwardly, it might look sometimes because of so much of pollution these days anyway. But still, it is very, very pure. Similarly, the body of a spiritual master, a spiritual person, even though he might not look to our vision proper or not a healthy body, but it's always, always, always spiritual. There is a there was a devotee during Rupa Goswami's time when Rupa Goswami was here in Vrindavan or Braj area. So he was doing his bhajan in his kuti, and uh, he was looking at the pastime of Radha and Krishna. Looking at doesn't mean looking at on a TV or laptop, because he was visualizing that in his mind, and not some odd imaginary pastime, because this pastime was happening and he was watching it by sitting in his kutir. And the pastime that was going on was at Kusum Sarovar, Govardhan. So Kusum Sarovar is where all the gopis, Radharani, they all come every day to pick up flowers. So there was a tree, and the branch of the tree was little higher than for Radharani to pick flowers from that. So she was jumping and trying to get the flowers because those flowers were very good. Of course, the gopis and Radharani, they pluck flowers for Krishna's pleasure. So Krishna saw this. Radharani is jumping and she could not get to the flower. So Krishna climbed from behind on the tree, and without knowing Radharani, he pressed that branch with his foot so the branch would come down. So branch came down, And Radharani, with one hand, she held on to the branch, and the other hand, she was plucking flowers. And then Krishna let go of the branch. And then Radharani went with the branch in the air. And then she was holding on to the branch and telling, "Oh, get me down, help me, help me." Rup Goswami, when he saw this pastime, he started laughing. It was funny. Radharani is up on the branch and asking Krishna to help her get down. But what happened at the same time, one devotee was passing by in the front of Rup Goswami's kuti. And that devotee had some physical deformation. He could not walk straight, he was limping, and he thought that Rupa Goswami is looking at my deformed body and is laughing. Rupa Goswami wasn't laughing at him. Rupa Goswami had his eyes closed and he was just thinking of this pastime. But this devotee thought Rupa Goswami is laughing at me. So with heavy heart, he just left. He just went to his place. And when this devotee thought that way, the pastime of Radha and Krishna went away from Rupa Goswami's mind. He could not concentrate on that. It just went away. So he was also disturbed. What happened? What did I do? See, everything is related. So later on, he met Sanatan Goswami and told him, "This is what has happened. I don't know what did I do." Sanatan Goswami said, "So knowingly, unknowingly, you have committed an offense. You have disturbed a Vaishnava." So which Vaishnava? I'll go ask for forgiveness. I don't even know. What did I do? So Sanatan Goswami asked him to hold a feast. Invite all the Vaishnavas, all the devotees from this area. And whoever doesn't come, because if he is still holding grudge in his heart, he is still upset, then that is a person you have offended. So go and beg forgiveness. And this is what happened. Rupa Goswami organized a feast and that Vaishnava did not come. Rupa Goswami went to his house, asked for forgiveness, and saying that I wasn't laughing because that devotee said, "Well, I was passing by your kutir and you started laughing, looking at my walk and my deformed body." Rupa Goswami said, "I wasn't laughing at you, I was looking at this pastime in my heart. And that's what I was looking at and laughing at." So then that devotee, he not only forgave, he asked for forgiveness also, but then that was all taken care of. Means, I mean, offenses can happen even at this level. Forget about, we commit offenses with our body, mind, body and words also. In our mind also we can commit. We have to be so careful. And this is what Maharaj is writing. Body of spiritual master is always spiritual, it's never polluted. Body of a pure devotee. So we have to be very, very careful in dealing with devotees. The devotees working closely with Srila Prabhupada did not think he was deteriorating. No matter how he appeared, he was just giving them another opportunity to serve him. If he wanted to eat or didn't want to eat, if he was pleased or displeased, if he appeared well or ill, they would respond accordingly out of duty and love. And this was another point that Prabhupada has made, I believe in Nectar of Instruction only. If a spiritual master, if he gets sick and he's asking for service from his disciples, only reason is he's giving them an opportunity to serve him, to get more close to him. This is the reason if the spiritual master gets sick. So the devotees would respond accordingly out of duty and love. This mood was becoming increasingly prominent as Srila Prabhupada more and more dependent on his disciples to help him carry out all his functions. He had said he was remaining in the world only to satisfy his disciples' sincere desires to serve him. Yet he continued to emphasize that the service to his physical form was not as important as the following his instructions. So, physical service, how many disciples could do, but following instructions, everybody could do and make progress. Just like Madhvendra Puri. So, great Acharya, and during his last days, he was completely bedridden. But he was constantly thinking of Krishna, and Ishwar Puri was serving him like a menial servant. He was cleaning his stool and urine and doing all of the services from Madhvendra Puri. And so much so, Madhvendra Puri was pleased with the service of Ishwar Puri that later on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took initiation from Ishwar Puri, accepted him as his guru. So, so much benefit is there by serving spiritual master, by serving Prabhupada. All these disciples, they got so much benefit. When two of Prabhupada's sannyasis were taking leave of him, he smiled pleasingly and said, I may stay or go, but in my books I will live forever. When he heard that 40,000 hardbound books had been distributed in 1 week, he said, if book distribution increases, I'll never die. I'll be living for centuries. Tamal Krishna remarked that the book distribution reports were one kind of news that didn't give Prabhupada a headache. And Prabhupada smiled broadly. No, he said, it's my life. So, 40,000 hardbound books distributed in 1 week, that's plenty of books. But one day, while sitting in the garden with Tamal Krishna, Swarup Damodar, and others, Srila Prabhupada became very disturbed when he detected a mistake in one of his already printed books. Tamal Krishna was reading aloud a verse from the first canto, which began, Munya Sadhu Prishtoham. Srila Prabhupada had him read the synonyms. Tamal Krishna read, Munya, O sadhus, Munya, O sages, sadhu, this is relevant. Prishtha, questioned. I think this will go on for some while, so we'll read that tomorrow. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Nice class.
Thank you, Mata. Chalo, you all have safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai
Hare
Shri.
Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.